The Bermuda Triangle is one of the most mysterious and infamous areas in the world. For decades, rumors and speculation have surrounded the area, with countless stories of planes and ships disappearing without a trace. While many of these incidents have been debunked or explained, there are still many unexplained occurrences that continue to fuel speculation and intrigue. One man who has first-hand experience with the Bermuda Triangle is David Smith. In 2012, Smith set sail from Miami on a small fishing boat, hoping to catch some fish and enjoy a peaceful day on the water. What he didn't expect was to find himself in the midst of a terrifying ordeal that would test his survival skills to the limit. It was a beautiful day when Smith set out, with clear skies and calm waters. He had been fishing for a few hours when he noticed that the sky had started to darken and the wind had picked up. He decided it was time to head back to shore, but as he turned the boat around, he heard a strange noise coming from the engine. At first, Smith didn't think much of it. He tried to restart the engine, but it wouldn't start. He checked the fuel tank, but it was full. That's when he realized that something was seriously wrong. He tried to call for help on his radio, but there was no response. As the wind picked up, Smith realized that he was being pulled further out to sea. He tried to anchor the boat, but the waves were too strong. Soon, he was completely adrift, with no way to call for help or steer the boat. As the night fell, Smith began to panic. He had no food or water, and the boat was rapidly filling with water. He tried to use his phone, but there was no signal. He was completely alone, with no one to turn to for help. But Smith refused to give up. He knew that he had to keep his wits about him if he was going to survive. He used his fishing line to catch some small fish, which he deterred. He collected rainwater in a bucket, which he used to quench his thirst. But as the days passed, Smith's situation grew increasingly dire. He was suffering from dehydration and exposure, and he had no way to steer the boat or call for help. He was completely at the mercy of the wind and the waves. But then, something miraculous happened. On the fourth day of his ordeal, Smith spotted a ship on the horizon. He tried to signal for help, but he was too far away. But then, he remembered that he had a flare gun on board. He fired the flare, and to his relief, the ship changed course and headed towards him. The crew of the ship were shocked to find Smith alone and adrift in the middle of the ocean. They quickly pulled him aboard and gave him food, water, and medical attention. Smith was grateful to be alive, and he knew that he had been incredibly lucky to survive. Looking back on his ordeal, Smith admits that he was lucky to survive. But he also believes that his survival was due in large part to his determination and his refusal to give up. He knew that he had to keep his wits about him and stay focused on his goal of getting through the ordeal alive. Smith's experience is just one of many stories of survival in the Bermuda Triangle. While there are still many unexplained incidents in the area, it's important to remember that there are also many people who have survived against all odds. And while the Bermuda Triangle may be shrouded in mystery and speculation, it's also a reminder of the power and unpredictability of the natural world. In conclusion, the Bermuda Triangle remains a topic of fascination and mystery for many people around the world. While the truth behind the disappearances and incidents that have occurred in the area may never be fully understood, stories like David Smith's remind us that survival is always possible, even in the most challenging of circumstances. For those who find themselves in a similar situation, there are some important lessons that can be learned from Smith's experience. Firstly, it's crucial to remain calm and focused, even when faced with a seemingly hopeless situation. Panic and despair can quickly lead to irrational decisions and can even be fatal in some cases. Secondly, It's important to have a plan in place for emergencies, such as carrying emergency supplies like food, water, and a flare gun, and having a communication device that works in remote areas. This can make a huge difference in the outcome of an emergency situation. Lastly, it's important to always respect the power of nature and to be prepared for the unexpected. The ocean can be a dangerous and unpredictable place, and even experienced sailors and fishermen can find themselves in difficult situations. The story of David Smith's survival in the Bermuda Triangle is a powerful reminder of the human spirit and our ability to persevere in the face of adversity. While the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle may never be fully solved, stories like this one remind us that there is always hope, even in the most challenging of circumstances.